This is a story about a couple who have been married for many years and their relationship has gone beyond the ordinary. Victor Van Allen has been at work almost all the time and his wife Melinda doesn't get enough attention from her husband, so the couple found an alternative. Mel sleeps with other men and VC turns a blind eye to his wife's cheating. It would seem that what is wrong if the solution suits both, but at some point, all the woman's lovers begin to disappear one by one. What really happens in the life of spouses and who eliminates men? About this you will learn by watching the video to the end. Enjoy the movie. Vic and Melinda Van Allen, from the looks of it, were an ordinary happy family raising a daughter Trixie and building their family life. On this day the couple was going to attend a party and Melinda was a little excited about the gathering. The doorbell rang, the babysitter came and Victor greeted the girl and went upstairs. His wife called him into the bedroom. The woman was choosing a dress for the evening and wanted her husband to help her decide on the outfit. Vic picked out the dress and helped his wife put on the new shoes he had recently brought her as a gift from New York. Melinda watched her husband's careful movements and asked if he knew the woman loved him. The couple drove to the party in a good mood. Once inside the house, the man helped his wife take off her outerwear. Melinda took a glass of champagne and they joined the buffet. The couple talked with their acquaintances about the education of their children. The loose morals and the upbringing of the child surprised the acquaintances, but the heroes had their own point of view in this matter and were not going to get into similarities. Melinda was frankly bored in the crowd. She saw Joel, her close friend. Vic also noticed the guy and how pleased his wife was with the appearance of an acquaintance at the party. He grabbed a drink from the bar and walked down the hall searching for the couple with his eyes. Mel led Joel out of the hall and into the courtyard where the sounds of live music were coming from. Her husband went to the window and saw the couple kissing downstairs. Melinda felt her husband's gaze, looked at him through the window and continued to fondle her friend. Vic left and an acquaintance approached him and began discussing Melinda and Joel dancing by the pool. The woman didn't like the behavior of her friend's wife and decided to tell Vic about his wife's cheating, but the man didn't want to develop that dialogue. Melinda drank too much and started partying hard, dancing on the piano. When her husband approached, she staged a performance for him and the guests at the bar. Victor met Joel. The guy decided to thank the man for his hospitality and the opportunity to be a close friend of his wife. In response, Vic told the guy a story about a man named Marty who had been friends with Melinda before Joel. Guy wondered. He had heard of the man, but he didn't believe Victor had anything to do with his disappearance, to which the man simply replied that he had killed her friend. Joel decided it was best for him to go home after the party. Mel began to question her husband about what had happened to Joel. Victor didn't want to discuss their conversation and asked the woman to get in the car. On the way home, Melinda found a bitten apple in the glove compartment and fed it to her husband. While Victor was paying for the nanny, his wife went into the kitchen and began undressing, which embarrassed the girl and her husband. Having seen off the nanny, Vic helped his wife to get rid of her clothes. They began to discuss the relationship. Mel said that despite the stupidity of her lover, she felt comfortable with him and asked her husband to close the doors behind her. The man left to watch the snails at breakfast. Vic chatted with Trixie, who was doing a science experiment for school, and later drove the little girl to class. The man's friends met him for lunch and began discussing his wife's behavior at home. Melinda gave her husband a scandal for hurting Joel and told him that he should apologize to the boyfriend. At dinner at the appointed time, Joel arrived at the Van Allen family home, told that the guy was allergic to seafood. Vic prepared special dishes at dinner. The guy tells that he is going to leave for another city for work. Melinda is happy about his decision and promises to come to visit. She gets right at the table, taking the guy's sandwich and eats it with pleasure. Victor reminisces about how their first date went, but gradually their conversation turns into an argument. His wife sends Vis to read Trixie's fairy tale while Melinda entertains a guest. They read the book and talk about Mom. When the man comes downstairs, he sees his wife having fun with Joel. He starts rattling the dishes to get the couple's attention. Melinda came into the kitchen to pour a glass of alcohol for the guy and asked her husband to take the drink to the guest. Joel thought Vic wanted to apologize, but the man said his cab had arrived and shoved the guy out the door. At another holiday party, the Van Allen couple meets a writer, Don Wilson, and his family. The man reproaches Victor that he develops military chips which he created kills people and it is not ethical, but Victor's friends do not share the writer's opinion and laugh with his accusations. Melinda and her daughter went dancing. Vic watched them having fun. Then the writer's wife Kelly came up to him. She complimented his wife and the man decided to ask the girl to dance. This caused a big reaction among his friends because he usually avoided this kind of entertainment. On the way home, Melinda decided to discuss with her husband about his dance with Kelly. She decided that her husband liked the girl. The wife became jealous, smiled slightly, and decided to brush her teeth right on the road, which her husband was very happy about. The couple had a wild night at home. In the middle of the week, the couple went to see Trixie play soccer. While they were discussing the players on the opposing team, the man received a call from the bank. The clerk informed Vic that his wife wanted to transfer $3,000 for piano lessons to the account of one Charles Delilah. The man decided to find out who this new acquaintance of his wife and came to the bar where Charles played the piano. Sitting at a table, he saw his wife, who had come to meet the pianist. Victor got upset and went home. His daughter was waiting for him. There she was playing poker with her nanny. Later, Melinda returned home in an unhinged state. Vic asked where she had been and the woman told him about meeting a new friend and drinking a lot of alcohol. The man helped his wife undress and broke the news of the death of Martin McCrane, her missing lover. The news made a strong impression on the woman. Trixie and Victor took a puppy from the shelter. The girl decided to name him Roger. On the way home, the girl was worried about her mom's condition and the man saw a pianist walking down the street with a bouquet of tulips, these same flowers he discovered on his kitchen table. When he returned home with his daughter, he met a friend at the bar where Charles was playing. The man praised the boy's playing and Victor confided that the young man was teaching Melinda how to play the piano. At night, as Vic tended to his pets, Melinda is relaxing in the car with her friend. She wants to try something interesting and explores the guy better all night. Melinda was not at home, and when she came, Vic began to ask where the woman had been all this time. The spouses began to quarrel. Me provoked her husband to get at least some emotions from him, but Victor was as restrained as always. He tried to forbid Melinda to meet with her new friend, but his wife ignored his words. In the midst of a new party, Charlie appeared in the house. Melinda introduced him to everyone as her close friend, and the guy played a little piece on the piano to placate Vic. During Charles's performance, a woman approached and began flirting with her husband. A little later, she introduced the men. Charlie thought Vic's face looked familiar, but he denied it. The party died down a little and the man lost sight of his wife. A friend said Melinda was upstairs. Vic wasn't happy about this information, but he still started slowly up the stairs to the second floor. Just at that moment, a giggling Melinda in a bathing suit popped out of the room below, followed by the piano player. The couple headed for the pool and Victor followed them. The man watched his wife having fun in the water with a new friend, but it suddenly began to rain and everyone but Six and Charlie went inside. Came out onto the balcony. He saw Victor watching the guy in the pool, but he didn't pay it any mind. When Vic went into the kitchen, he wanted to eat fresh cookies, but the baking tray was hot and the man burned his hand. Melinda began to worry that she didn't see Charlie among the guests. She went to the balcony and saw the guy's body floating in the pool. The men pulled him out and tried to resuscitate him before the ambulance arrived, but it was too late. Mel became hysterical and was taken into the house. Police arrived on the scene and began questioning those present about the party. Vic's wife told the detectives that her husband had killed Charlie. Friends were shocked by the woman's words and subsequent hysteria. The cops took Melinda away to talk privately and then called Vic to get his statement. In the car, the couple rode in silence, Melinda suffering over the death of her friend. Upon returning home, Vic asks the woman if she is afraid of him. A line makes it clear that she is not afraid since he would do it for her. Victor went for a ride on his mountain bike. On the way, his memory